Another beautiful Friday night for high school football here in Southern Ohio as we welcome you into the Trojan Coliseum as the Portsmouth Trojans play host to the Amanda Clearcreek Aces in round one of the Division V OHSAA High School Football Playoffs. Alongside John Bruce, my name is Dewey Daly as we welcome you into tonight's coverage. And John, it's the 8-9 game, the closest between two seeds out of the now 16-team playoff format. Should be in for a good one here tonight.
Yeah, and it really appears that it was one opponent win is the difference between who got this home game tonight, because they were very closely rated as far as the Harbin points go. And Amanda Clearcreek actually had just slightly above Afrocentric out of Columbus as well. So we could have seen a variety of different situations here tonight, but we're going to get what we think will be a good one here between the Trojans and the Aces. The Aces coming in at 6-4, the Trojans at 7-3. If you watch one of our earlier streams, you would probably agree or think that they probably should be 8-2, which we wouldn't fully disagree. Actually, Dewey had written 8-2 on his thing, so I think that's how we kind of thought about that game, or that Week 7 game, which if you were here with us, you would kind of know what happened. So this one should be a good one. Two very run-heavy teams, two proud programs. Should be a good one here tonight here at the Trojan Coliseum. Beautiful night, too.
And, John, you mentioned Amanda Clearcreek, 6-4. They finish up their regular season 3-3 out of the Mid-State League. A relatively long drive down here to the Coliseum. And for Amanda, a lot of tough opponents on their schedule, and also a couple of big wins for the Aces. They take down Unioda in Week 2, also Logan Elm, and I believe Week 7 or 8. Nonetheless, those are two very big wins over teams that are hosting playoff games here tonight. They also drop to Fairfield Union 18-13. Fairfield Union, another team that's hosting a playoff game here tonight. Not to mention Bloom Carroll out of the MSL as well. So you look at that 6-4 record and you think, man, the strength of schedule, that could have been under 500, but Amanda picks up a couple of big wins, as we mentioned, over the Shermans and over the Braves. They come in maybe as an underseeded 6-4 team, maybe not the ideal opponent for the first round here in the playoffs.
Yeah, usually when you host a playoff game, you're hoping that you're going to get a pretty favorable matchup, and it doesn't really seem to be that way for the Trojans tonight. I think they're probably the favorite here, but this is an Amanda team that has played an outstanding schedule. The Mid-State League gets them ready for the postseason every year, and this season I would reckon would be no different. As you mentioned, they have multiple good wins. They've also had a couple tough losses to other playoff teams, but this Portsmouth team, I mean, last week you play probably the favorite in Division 5 to win the state in Ironton, so you could not have played a better Week 10 opponent. Now, the results, maybe you don't love the results, but at the same time, now you are prepared. You're going to feel pretty confident going into Week 11 that you've seen the best. Now you got to play, kind of the rest.
And, John, you mentioned Ironton, the Fighting Tigers, the more than likely opponent in Week 12 for the winner here in P-Town tonight.
Yeah, they've got Worthington Christian coming in to Tanks Memorial Stadium, and that should be a win for Ironton, but stranger things have happened. It has happened once so far in this current playoff format where the 1 seed has lost to a 16. It happened into a Division 4 game in the first year. So that's the only time it's happened, but you never know.
One interesting fact, John, this is the first home playoff game here at the Trojan Coliseum for the Trojans since it opened in 2009. The last home playoff game for Portsmouth came in 2002. That one down the road a little bit over at Spartan Municipal Stadium.
Yeah, but the good thing for them is they did win a playoff game last year. Won a playoff game last year where they went on the road to Fairland and beat them as the 15 seed. So this is a team that has experience with winning in the postseason, and it's a team that is going to come in pretty confident as they played very well throughout the season, are very close to being an 8-2 team. And, that's going to give them confidence coming into the night.
And, John, this is the first meeting between the Aces and Trojans since 2000. They opened up that season with each other in Week 1. a lot happened that year. The Trojans took down the Aces 13-16. Amanda also won the Division V state title.
Yeah, Amanda goes on to win the state championship that year, and Portsmouth actually made it to the Final Four that year as well. So that had to have been a raucous crowd for that one. As we mentioned, these are two really proud programs. Should be a fun one tonight.
So the Aces winning the toss, electing to receive. It'll be Malachi Loper to kick things off here in Week 11 playoff football, November 1st. We're underway from the Coliseum. It'll be Nick Holland on the return from inside his own 10-yard line. Holland to the near side and out past the 30-yard line. We'll now get our first look at this Amanda Clearcreek offense here in Week 11.
Yeah, good start there for Amanda, taking that kickoff from inside the 10 to just outside the 30 to the 32. Good starting position for the Aces.
So Amanda under head coach Chet Somm. Senior left-handed quarterback Logan Stevens. Alongside Stevens, it's junior tailback Tommy Stein. First and 10, Stevens hands it off between the tackles and driven straight back. Trevin Brooks on the stop for the Trojans as the Aces are behind the sticks on second down.
Yeah, we've seen Brooks do that in our two games that we've covered of them this year, where he's able to, get a nice read, jumps through, ends up being I think officially a 2-yard loss, but a nice start for the Trojans defensively.
So the Aces now second down and 12 from inside their own 30-yard line. Stevens passes near side. It's brought in by Westoven. Westoven out to the 35-yard line, officially marked out at the 34. It'll be a pickup of 5.
Yeah, nice play there. Pick up a little bit of yardage. Do the quick throw out. Now you get a little bit of that yardage back to where, now you're in third and manageable here.
Third down and 7 from their own 34-yard line. Sty in the backfield alongside Stevens. Speed option out to the right. Stevens pitches it to Sty. Sty out to the numbers. Needs the 41, and he's got it. First down, Aces.
Yeah, he needed 6. He battles. Picks up 7. Nice play there by Tommy Sty.
You look up front for Amanda Clearcreek from left to right. The big guys, Gary Kimmerling, Peter Smith, Maddox Stipple, Chase Hanna, and Dylan Dyer.
It's an offensive line that has done very well for the Aces throughout the season, which is why they're here in Week 11.
Stevens turns, fakes the handoff, and he's immediately pressured in the backfield. Zion Froh in on the stop for the Trojans.
Yeah, and Froh's a player that we kind of, we talked about a little bit on our own, as he was a new name to us, but does a nice job getting in the backfield for a 2-yard loss.
So once again on second down, the Aces behind the sticks. Second and 12 from their own 40-yard line. High formation for the Aces is a flag in before the snap. It'll be a false start on Amanda Clearcreek. That'll make it 2nd and 17 from their own 35. Two receivers set now for the Aces. Stevens hands it off between the tackles and out to the 40-yard line. Tommy Sty once again
Yeah, ends up picking up about 4 there for Stye, makes it more of a manageable third down coming up here.
Stye a pickup of 4 yards, 3rd and long. Aces need to get it to the plus 48-yard line for a new set of downs. 3rd and 13. Stevens back to pass under pressure, dumps it off underneath Tommy Stye. Stye up the right hash, has the first down and more. Tommy Stye off to the races. One man in pursuit, and he's not going to get there. Touchdown, Aces.
A really well-designed play there, and then Tommy Stye just making men miss. Does a great job going 61 yards to the house. 6-0 Aces.
Logan Stevens connects with Tommy Stye, 61 yards. On 3rd and 13, the junior Hayden Dunn now on for the point after. As the muddle huddle shifts back to the ball. Dunn now for the point after. Dunn knocks it through. Aces crack the board first. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum. Logan Stevens hooking up with Tommy Stye, 61 yards out. The PAT from Hayden Dunn was good, and the Aces on the board first, up 7-0 with just under 9 minutes to go here in the first. Dunn now on to boot it away. Squib kick. Between the hashes, recovered by the Trojans. On the return, it's Jacob Tidd to the near side, marked down just inside the 30-yard line at the 29.
Yeah, Tanner Affelder makes a really nice play there coming from behind to cut down the return man. And now, for a very run-heavy team, got to go 70 yards. Not bad field position here for the Trojans. But I think we have a pretty decent idea of what we're gonna see coming here for the Portsmouth Trojans.
First possession of the night for the Trojans. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Chase Highland to the near side, and he's brought down. Mason Williams, the first there for the Aces. As the rest of the Aces defense comes in for the tackle. No gain on the play for Highland. 2nd and 10 coming up for Portsmouth.
And that's one of the things you got to try to do. You got to try to keep them behind the sticks, because once Highland gets going downhill, it ends up being a really tough team to slow down.
2nd and 10 now. JT Williams rolling out to his left, dumps it off underneath. Looking for Cameron Williams. It falls incomplete now. 3rd and 10 coming up for the Trojans.
He's probably going to want that one back because Leland Skurlock had gotten loose downfield. But when you're rolling to your left, it's not always the most comfortable to throw downfield. So if he would have had time to get his feet set, maybe he's able to hit Skurlock downfield. But instead ends up being a short incompletion.
Third and long for the Trojans. JT Williams keeps it up the right hash. Brought down after a pickup of 4.
Yeah, Cameron Tinsley makes a nice play there, cuts him down from getting a big gain there to make this possibly something that, Coach Cobb will look for, but more than likely we're going to see the punt.
Cam Williams, the listed punter, standing on his own 26-yard line. He will pooch punt it away. Tanner Affelter on the return for the Aces to the far sideline. Affelter across midfield. Inside the Trojan 40-yard line. Affelter brought down at the 20-yard line.
A 49-yard return for Affelter. Picks it up off the bounce. Goes from the 30 down to the 21-yard line. A great return there by Affelter. And just, we've seen him twice on special teams already. The senior made a nice tackle on the kickoff, and now he sets the Aces up in great field position here. And this is one of those games where, both teams run heavy, so you want to, figuratively punch the other team in the mouth. And right now the Aces have done that in a big way.
1st and 10 for Amanda from the plus 21-yard line. Stevens hands it off between the tackles out to the 15-yard line. Nick Holland, his first carry of the night.
Yeah, you think that it's going to go Stye, but it ends up going to Holland, ends up picking up 6.
Pickup of 6 for Holland. Williams motions across the line of scrimmage. Stevens under center, pitches it to the near side. Tommy Stye out to the numbers and falls down right at the 15-yard line as a flag reigns in after the play.
I think we're going to see a hold on the outside, but also a heck of a tackle there by the line. I believe it's going to, I believe
Turf
it's going to.
Monster.
Yeah, Turf Monster. I couldn't think of it at the time. But it looked like there's a hold on the outside by the receiver blocking for him downfield. Yeah. So second penalty against the Aces. Now, we watched them in warm-ups. I think this is probably right at the edge for Hayden Dunn on field goal range. He hit a 45-yarder in pregame. Now, for Loper, for the Trojans, I believe he hit a 42-yarder. Hit the crossbar from 47. So I would say 42 is probably the most comfortable they'll go on that.
The penalty pushes the Aces back beyond the original line of scrimmage. 2nd and 13 coming up for Amanda. Split back for the Aces. 2nd and 13 as Elder motions across the line of scrimmage. Stevens, play action over the middle. And it's nearly intercepted. The intended target was Brody Elder. Leland Skurlock in coverage nearly had the interception for Portsmouth.
Yeah, it was just a little low, but Skurlock read it well and got his hands there. I think it just bounced a hair before it got to him. Now we got a 3rd and long.
So a chance now for the Trojans defense to get off the field.
Tell you what, Skurlock did sell that pretty well, though.
As you mentioned, John Hayden Dunn, a very capable kicker. Be an interesting decision here if the Aces are unable to convert the 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, Stevens fakes the handoff between the tackles as he's brought down in the backfield. The senior end, Kingston Littlefield, as a flag is thrown in after the play.
I think he ended up getting one. It's going to be a face mask, but it's only a 5-yarder. Must have been on the secondary man because it definitely was not Littlefield because he was struggling to get him down from the waist. But that's kind of where with Logan Stevens, he's fighting so hard for that extra yardage, ends up to where a secondary defender has to come and bring him down, and that's where you get that penalty at.
So the penalty makes it 3rd down and 8, much more manageable for the Aces. From the 18-yard line for the Aces. Split backs for Amanda. With Affelter and Stye. Under center, Stevens, play action. Looking to the near side, Stevens fires and incomplete. Looking for Tommy Stye on the wheel route as he's knocked down well before the ball got there, and it looks like we'll have defensive pass interference on Nick Copley.
I think it's probably technically right, but that ball was in no way catchable. And maybe they'll talk about it.
Pass interference on the Trojans. So an automatic first down for the Aces now inside the Trojan 10-yard line. Killer penalty for Portsmouth.
Yeah, now it's going to be first and goal at the 9. Just a tough break there because it really was an uncatchable ball, but it also was pass interference.
So first down and goal, 9 yards to go for the Aces. Split backs. Stevens hands it off. Affelter between the tackles inside the 5, and it looks like he'll be brought up just shy of the goal line.
Yeah, these Aces are running very hard tonight as Affelter ends up, they're going to credit him for 6 on the carry. Just battled through, gets hit early, and then just keeps those legs churning and gets inside the 5 to the 3.
Now second down, goal to go just inside the 3-yard line for Amanda. Same formation with Stye and Affelter in the backfield. Stevens. Under center, turns, hands it off. Tommy Stye fighting to the goal line. A last-ditch effort, and he will come up just shy as the Trojans' front line makes a stand.
Yeah, Charles Fletcher was the first one there, number 77. Ends up being 2 yards short here for Stye.
Third down, goal to go right at the 1-yard line for Amanda. Stevens under center once again. Stevens hands it off. Affelter across the goal line. Touchdown, Aces.
A great start for the Aces. 4:16 left here in the first, up 13-0 already.
Two scoring drives for Amanda, along with a forced punt on the defensive side. A rushing touchdown for both of their tailbacks. Check that, actually a receiving touchdown for Stye as Amanda going to go for 2 here, and they will come up short. So it will remain a 13-0 lead for the Aces. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum. Hayden Dunn boots it away following the 1-yard rushing touchdown by Tanner Affelter. As Williams watches it roll into the end zone for a touchback.
Nice kick there from Dunn. He's showing off with nice legs so far.
Second series tonight coming up for the Trojans, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. You're just now tuning in, a 61-yard receiving touchdown for Tommy Stye, along with a 1-yard rushing touchdown by Tanner Affelter. The Aces electing to go for 2 on the latter touchdown, unable to convert, while we sit at a 13-0 score.
Yeah, I don't love the call to go for 2, especially when you just don't line up for it, but Amanda must have seen something they liked for that attempt.
Out of the gun, Williams hands it off. Chase Highland to the near side, out past the 25-yard line. Looks to be a pickup of 7 for the senior tailback.
Yeah, he got shut down on his first attempt for no gain, and then they kind of went other ways, but ends up picking up 7 on that play. Nice run for the senior, which I'm sure a lot of the OVC is happy to hear the senior part of that for Chase Highland.
Second down, 3 yards to go for Portsmouth. 3 receiver set. Trevin Brooks tight to the left side of the line. JT Williams fakes the handoff. He'll keep it to the left side with Highland as a lead blocker out past the 30-yard line. Should be good enough for a new set of downs for Portsmouth.
Ends up being about a gain of 5, running behind Highland as a blocker. I like that play design. Does a good job for the Trojans to pick up the first. And after going 3 and out on the last possession, it's big to just get that first down.
It's a new set of downs for the Trojans, 1st and 10 from their own 32. Out of the gun, Williams rolling to his right, looking downfield, pass is incomplete in the area of Landon Malone. Malone, of course, a big-time catch the last time we were here, John, in Week 7. It set up a go-ahead touchdown for the Trojans late in the 4th quarter against Fairland.
Yeah, he made a great play that night. That play was really made by Logan Stevens, the quarterback, who was in coverage. Makes a nice play to break that up right as the ball, gets on the receiver, times it well to where it's not going to be pass interference.
Right at 3 minutes to go here in the first, 2nd and 10 for Portsmouth. Williams, design keeper to the outside, past the 35 and out to the 37-yard line. So a pickup of 5 for JT Williams.
Yeah, one of the things I really like about the smaller area of football is you're going to see the quarterbacks play both ways and be super physical. As Stevens makes a big hit there, Williams doesn't back down from the hit at all, ends up picking up 5. So now you got a 3rd and manageable here for the Trojans.
3rd down, 5 yards to go for Portsmouth. Need the 42 for a new set of downs. Williams turns, hands it off. Highland between the tackles, met at the line of scrimmage. Dragging defenders out to the 41-yard line. John, it looks like he will be about a yard shy.
Yeah, and Cameron Tinsley was the man who got there again. He drags him about an extra yard, but ends up bringing him down about a yard short of the line to gain. I think you're going to see him go for it here. You're down the 2 scores already.
Trojans to the ball, 10 seconds left on the play clock. A little over a minute 30 to go here in the first. Brooks motions across the line. Chase Highland has the first down and more, just shy of the 45.
Yeah, he ran that ball hard. And like we kind of said in that Week 7 game against Fairland, he's running like a senior who wants to win, a league championship, but now he's running like a senior who wants his career to keep going. Just hammered that ball through. Picks up the nice first. Ends up picking up 4 on the play. Up to 15 yards now for the senior Highland.
Approaching the 60-second mark here in the first. Williams, design keeper out to the left, has Highland as a lead blocker. JT Williams has the edge and should have enough for another Trojan first down.
So they're just going to give him 10 on that nice run to the outside by Williams. think they're going to give him the first. Yeah, okay.
Williams marked out of bounds at the plus 44, needed the plus 45, 1st and 10 for Portsmouth.
24 yards now on 4 rushes for JT Williams, and that's going to make it a little harder to focus purely on Highland.
Now a 3-receiver set with Brooks lined up as an H-back. Right back to the ground, Chase Highland. Up the middle as a flag reigns in. Prior to the penalty, a pickup of about 1. So it looks like this will go against the Trojans.
It's going to be a hold, and that was like an instant hold. So whatever it was, whoever was called for the hold there must have got beaten very badly by the defensive end, by the Aces. That's their 3rd penalty, 30 yards in penalties now for the Trojans.
So the penalty pushes the Trojans back to their side of the field. Well beyond the sticks, 1st down and 20 from their own 46-yard line. Another 3-receiver set with Highland in the backfield. Brooks and H-back to the left side. Brooks motions from left to right into the right slot as Williams fakes the handoff. Play action rolling to his right. Over the middle, pass is caught. Cam Williams into the Aces territory inside the Amanda 40-yard line.
And that's a missed face mask right in front of the official as Cam Williams was ripped down by his face mask. Ends up picking up 15 on the play, but it should have been an added 15 also. Nice play design for the Trojans.
John, a very similar, if not the same play we saw a bit earlier on in the drive with Landon Malone. This time, Cam Williams able to convert on the other end. Sets up a 2nd down and manageable for the Trojans.
Yeah, they do a good job building the levels to that play. Ends up being a nice pickup there on 1st down.
Now 2nd and 5 for Portsmouth. Williams. QB keeper to the near side. Williams inside the 35-yard line. He'll be marked right at the line of gain.
I believe either they're going to give it to him or this is going to be a long walk. Okay. I say it could be a long walk across for the chain gang.
So another 1st down run for J.T. Williams. His 2nd of the drive as the Trojans now 1st and 10 from the plus 34-yard line. 21 ticks to go here in the opening quarter tonight. Williams, motions Cam Williams. JT fakes the handoff to Highland. JT Williams has the edge to the outside. Williams inside the Aces 15, another 1st down run for the senior quarterback.
Ends up being a 21-yard gain there for JT Williams. Does a good job finding some room in between the defenders on the outside. It looked like his brother may have been an option originally, but he ends up cutting it upfield. Nice run there for the senior. He's having an outstanding 1st quarter.
And John, after a 3-and-out on their first series tonight, a very promising bounce-back drive for the Trojans.
Yeah, and that's even with a 10-yard hold that knocked them back. Picking up yardage in bulk right now for the Trojans.
Williams out in the pistol is Highland. Moving up prior to the snap. That'll be a false start on Portsmouth. That'll push them back 5.
Yeah, but you like what you're doing moving the ball forward, but that's 4 penalties already. We saw it in week 7 where they ended up with like 14 or 15 penalties in that game. You got to tighten these things up when you're moving forward. I think that's probably they're pointing at the scoreboard, so I don't know if they're trying to say it should have been running. Apparently it had started.
Hey, put 13.1 on the clock.
So the official's going to add 0.7 of a second back to the clock.
Which we've seen here at the Portsmouth Coliseum, or the Trojan Coliseum, how important every second is.
So 1st and 15 from the plus 18-yard line, an empty backfield for J.T. Williams with Brook lined up as an H-back to the right side of the line. Williams, quarterback draw between the tackles as Williams is brought down just inside the Aces 15-yard line.
Yeah, good job getting a lot of that yardage back, ends up picking up 4, and that's going to do it for the quarter.
First quarter comes to a close. The Aces strike first and second, leading 13-0 after one. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum. Amanda out in front, 13-0 after one. However, John, the Trojans threatening 2nd and 11 from the plus 14-yard line of Amanda.
It's been a really nice drive so far for the Trojans, despite a couple of penalties knocking them back. They've done a really good job. Their offensive line's gotten a nice push. JT Williams has ran the ball very well.
3 first-down conversions just on this drive for Williams. 2nd and 11. So Williams motions Highland out of the backfield, a screen pass to the right side. Highland brings it in, makes the first man miss. Chase Highland inside the 5. Touchdown, Trojans. From 14 yards out is Highland. Gets his team on the board.
A really nice play design there by Portsmouth. You know, a lot of what you see out of Highland is he's coming straight downhill at you, but you get him outside. He does a nice job, makes the first man miss, and at that point he uses his speed to get to the end zone for 6.
Malachi Loper, the former Clay Panther, on for the point after. Cam Williams has the hold down as Loper knocks it through the uprights. Trojans finally able to get it on the board. 7 ticks into the second quarter. 13-7 is our score in favor of the Aces. We'll step aside. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum as the Trojans are able to get on the board for the first time tonight, courtesy of Chase Highland. As Loper boots it away, it's Nick Holland on the return for the Aces, out past his own 40-yard line.
Yeah, it's short kickoff. That's actually the 3rd play in special teams so far that the Aces have made that has made a big difference so far. Gets great field position here for the Aces.
The 1st and 10 for Amanda Clearcreek from their own 45-yard line. 2 for 2 with a pair of scoring drives so far tonight. The first, a 61 receiving touchdown for Tommy Stye, followed by a 1-yard rushing touchdown by Tanner Affelter. 1st and 10, Tommy Stye met in the backfield and brought down Jalen Ball. And on the stop for the Trojans, officially no gain on the play for Stye.
Yeah, Ball does a great job of meeting his man right there in the middle of the field. and just holding them up at the line of scrimmage.
Second and 10 now coming up for the Aces. Split backfield for Amanda. Stevens under center. He fakes the handoff, speed option out to the right side. Stevens will keep it himself, has the first down and more inside the Trojans' 40-yard line.
It's going to be a gain of 18 for the senior as he runs through a tackle near the line of scrimmage. Big gain there by Stevens, the senior. Talked about how just strong he looked in the pregame, and he does a great job. He's done a good job defensively and then breaking tackles right there for the big gain.
Stevens listed at 6 foot, 190 pounds. Big time first down run for the senior. New set of downs, first and 10 from the plus 37-yard line. Aces of 4 receivers sent with 3 bunched to the left side. It'll be a bubble pass to Nick Holland, who is brought down just shy of the Trojan 30-yard line.
Going to give him 7 on the play. So a nice job there, just getting the ball out, get it to one of your playmakers, picking up a nice little chunk of yardage there for the Aces.
Second down and 3 coming up for the Aces. A 7-yard reception for Nick Holland. Holland motioning across the line of scrimmage, takes the jet sweep and is knocked down in the backfield. Kingston Littlefield on the TFL for the Trojans.
Yeah, second nice play by Littlefield on the day. He just jumps his man, reads that the jet sweep is coming, and makes a nice play in the backfield. That ends up being a loss of 5 on the play.
And for Nick Holland, just a sophomore, listed as one of the key subs on offense for the Aces, has had a handful of opportunities already here in the first half.
Yeah, he had that nice kickoff return earlier, but he's got 3 touches so far. The first 2 were pretty positive. That one, a big negative.
High formation, speed option out to the left side. Stevens keeping it himself once again is brought down about a yard shy of the line to gain. However, a flag is down around the spot of the tackle, and it looks like this one will be coming back.
He did a nice job of running it. Our man on the sideline over there has picked up the hold so far, but pretty balanced. That ends up being, it's going to go from 3rd and 8 to about 3rd and 15, since it was upfield. So it's going to be, a good bit tougher here for the Aces, but their first touchdown was a passing play, and it was a 3rd and long. Now it was a screen where Stye made a couple men miss, but wouldn't be surprised if they went to something similar here.
The penalty pushes the Aces back beyond the plus 40-yard line. Stevens out in the gun. Tommy Stye to his left, play action. Stevens retreating backwards, and the pass is intercepted. Trevin Brooks across midfield and brought down at the plus 45. A designed halfback screen for the Aces. Batted down by Wesley Runyon, and Trevin Brooks picks it up and returns it for about 6 yards.
What a play by Wesley Runyon. Trevin Brooks gets, kind of gets the glory on that, but that's a huge play by Wesley Runyon to read that, knock it down, and then Trevin Brooks does a nice job showing off his hands there for the interception.
And John, an enormous turn of events as the Aces seemingly on their way to their 3rd scoring drive of the night. A penalty pushes them back, and a turnover puts it in the hands of the Trojans, who will look down to tie it up or potentially take the lead here in the 2nd quarter. Cam Williams motions across the line of scrimmage as J.T. Williams fakes the handoff to Highland and takes it out to the plus 38-yard line.
Yeah, it ends up being a gain of 7 on the play for Williams. 61 yards now on 8 carries for J.T. Williams. And you mentioned it looked like Amanda was driving. They're going to have a 4th and 1 if it wasn't for that hold, but they are in field goal range, which makes it a 2-possession game if you make it. So it ends up, big-time play there.
Officially a pickup of 8 yards for Williams. 2nd and 2 from the plus 37-yard line. Back to Chase Highland between the tackles, has the first down and more as the senior tailback rumbles inside the Aces 25. First down, Trojans.
Another nice carry there for Highland as he's starting to get going. A pickup of 12 on the play. $27 now for Chase Highland.
Now 1st and 10 for Portsmouth from the plus 23. Williams out in the pistol. He'll turn, fake the handoff to Highland. He'll keep it himself to the outside. Chase Highland, check that, JT Williams with blockers. As he takes it to inside the 20 mark, down at the 18, a pickup of 5 for Williams.
Yeah, it looked like if he was able to pick up one more blocker, he was going to be able to break that. But they end up missing a block downfield, and because of that, it ends up being just a 5-yard gain instead of possibly a 23-yard touchdown.
Prior to the 2nd down and 5, we have a whistle prior to the snap.
Yeah, it's some sort of equipment substitution needed here for the Aces.
Now both teams ready to go. 2nd and 5 from the 18-yard line for Portsmouth. Highland motion out of the line of scrimmage now. JT Williams on the keeper, has an edge to the outside. Williams diving to the pylon, and he'll be marked out of bounds at the Amanda 3-yard line.
That was the exact same play that they ran for Highland to score on the screen. So you use that, put it in the back pocket because you know you have another option on that play. JT Williams with the fake, pulls it down, ends up picking up 15 down inside the 3.
The Trojans now 1st down, goal to go from the 3-yard line. Williams turns, hands it off. Chase Highland powering his way to the goal line. 2nd effort, touchdown, Trojans. Chase Highland from 3 yards out. His 2nd touchdown of the night. The Trojans a PAT away from taking the lead with 6:33 to go here in the half.
Yeah, just a really, really hard-nosed run there for Chase Highland. Looked like he was stopped at the 1. He reached across. They didn't give it to him initially, but he keeps battling and eventually gets across the goal line for 6.
Malachi Loper on for the point after. 1 for 1 tonight is Loper, this one to take the lead. Williams the hold down as Loper knocks it through. 14 unanswered points for the Trojans as they lead 14-13 over the Amanda Clearcreek Aces with 6:33 to go in the first half. We'll step aside. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum. Malachi Loper, a squib kick to the near side. It's brought in by the Aces and returned out past the 35-yard line.
Tell you what, if that would have been an onside kick, that second bounce it got was perfect. Like, you're almost never seen balls with that much elevation at this point in time. It feels like the ball, there's something different with them, especially like in the NFL. You're just seeing like every once in a while they just kind of roll sideways. That one, a really excellent kick there, and that's probably the worst field position so far for the Aces.
Gary Kimmerling, the left tackle on the return for the Aces, a 5-yard return for the junior. A 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Stevens under center, turns, hands it off, flag down in the Aces backfield as Tommy Stye fights his way across the 40-yard line. The flag reined in right after the snap in the Aces backfield.
I'm guessing that's probably an illegal formation.
Two officials now converging to review the last play. Now a third official will join the group.
I mean, I feel like if you're calling it that quick, you probably should have a good idea.
As it stands, a pickup of 6 yards. That one will be coming back, a false start on the Aces.
See, I think it's probably an illegal formation. I wish they would there should be a different signal for that, especially when you don't have the mic. They're not mic'd up.
So the Aces now behind the sticks, 1st down and 15. Aces now back at their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, this has been a game of runs like you would see in basketball. 13-0 run to start for Amanda, 14-0 run now for the Trojans. See if the Aces can put something together going into the half.
Stevens out in the gun. Tommy Stye takes the speed option out to the left side. Stye looking to get the edge. No room as he's brought down, and it looks like John, the ball may have come out. No signal yet, and the Trojans are on top of it and take over deep inside Amanda territory.
Yeah, Nick Copley and Zion Froh each stretched that out. I don't know who made the hit exactly, but it made it to where there was nowhere for Stye to go, and a big hit forces that ball loose. Big turnover there for Portsmouth, as once again they have all the momentum at this point in time.
The senior Zion Froh on the forced fumble and the fumble recovery. Trojans now 1st and 10 from the plus 25. Pitch to the near side. Highland looking to throw. He's pressured in the backfield. Still on his feet and eventually brought down.
I don't like that play call. I know you're trying to go for something big, but now you're 6 yards behind. If things go perfect, you're probably getting points. But if they don't go perfect now, you're at a 2nd and 16.
So it'll be 2nd and 16 now for the Trojans. As Mason Williams was the first man in the backfield for Amanda to set up the TFL, leading to a 2nd and 16 now coming up for Portsmouth.
Got a nice crowd on hand here at the Trojan Coliseum for a really, really nice night, especially for November, as you mentioned earlier.
If you're just now tuning in, what was a 13-0 Amanda Clearcreek lead is now turned into a 14-13 Portsmouth Trojan lead. JT Williams keeps it himself and spins across the 25-yard line for a pickup of 6. As he gets back, the yards lost on the previous play should bring up about a 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, and what we've seen so far, I think we expected a lot of Chase Highland. So far, we haven't seen a ton. He's 7 rushes for 24 yards, but he does have the 2 scores. It's been a lot of JT Williams. He's got 88 yards on the ground so far. Also 29 through the air.
Williams out in the guns, off to his left hip. It's Chase Highland. Williams will keep it himself, and he runs into an Aces wall and is brought down by a host of Amanda Clearcreek defenders. No gain on the play for the Trojans.
They're going to end up putting them a yard back, so it's going to be a 1-yard loss. I think they're out of field goal range.
From here, it would be about a 47-yarder. John, and Loper is trotting onto the field.
Actually, 42. 42, which is what he hit earlier, what we saw in the pregame, but that was also kicked from straight on.
So a 42-yarder for Malachi Loper. Earlier in the afternoon, this would have been into the wind. From the left hash, Malachi Loper blocked at the line of scrimmage. So a flag is thrown in prior to the snap, John, and the early signal looks to be encroachment on the Aces.
Yeah, so that'll take away the block. And now they may think again. You may rethink that and go for it here because it's going to be a 4th and 5. And maybe if you, they're going to bring Loper off, as I say. But if you're Loper, you can get a little more air under it now that you have a little less to go.
So the encroachment by the Aces, another flag has been thrown in on the far side. It looks to be a sideline warning on Amanda. We've seen our fair share of sideline warnings here at the Coliseum here in the last month.
Not a fan.
So 4th down, 5 yards to go. Trojans need the 15 for a fresh set of downs. Empty backfield for JT Williams. 4 receivers set. Brooks tight to the left side of the line. Williams back to pass, fires over the middle, looking for Chase Highland, and it's overthrown and incomplete, but a flag is down.
Yeah, I think it's going to be called. There's a hand in the back of Highland. And that's, when you go for it, and you throw downfield, you've got a chance. You got a chance for that to get called. One got called against Trojans earlier. One now gets called against Amanda. Yeah, it's not a very good call, but I mean, it is what it is.
So the defensive pass interference moves the Trojans up to the Aces' 10-yard line.
Yeah, and what a swing there. You go from a blocked field goal to now inside the 10.
Williams motions Brooks across the line of scrimmage. Chase Highland between the tackles, met early on by Mason Williams. As Highland trucks forward for a pickup of 2.
Yeah, nice pickup there for Highland, but nice play, even better by Mason Williams.
Now 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. The Aces are set to receive the opening kickoff of the 3rd.
Just kidding.
Empty backfield and a muff snap. As flags rain in directly after the snap, it'll be a false start on the Trojans.
It's the 11th accepted penalty of the half.
And John, with Portsmouth set to receive the opening kickoff of the second half, potentially a chance here for the Trojans to double dip. 2nd and goal from the 13. Highland motions across the line of scrimmage. Williams keeps it himself as he bounces off the first would-be tackler before being brought down by Tanner Affelter.
Been impressed with what Affelter's been able to bring tonight. Makes a nice play there to get a stop. And it looked like things were kind of opening up for JT Williams, but not able to get anything out of it. Maybe 2.
Trojans lead it 14-13.
So now 3rd down and goal from the 12-yard line.
13-0. Portsmouth has came back and they lead it now 14-13. Amanda Clearcreek, after their second touchdown, they scored 1 for 2 and they're not getting from the 12-yard line.
JT Williams out in the pistol. Behind him, the senior tailback, Chase Highland. Play action. Under pressure as Williams dumps it off to the near side. Chase Highland streaking to the goal line. Touchdown, Trojans.
Another well-designed play. Good timing on that play call. The throwback screen for Highland. Highland pretty open. Gets a nice block downfield. Not 100% sure which receiver it was. I think it may have been Leland Skirlin downfield, but it was a nice block downfield by the Trojans. He's able to cut it back outside to get 6.
Loper now on to make it an 8-point game. 2 for 2 so far tonight is Loper.
It's a high snap. The hold is
Williams gets the hold down as Loper knocks it through. 21 unanswered points for the Trojans and an 8-point lead with $1:35 to go here in the second quarter. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Parmar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Parmar has it. Download the Parmar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Parmar Rewards Card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum. Another squib kick from Malachi Loper as Mason Williams jumps on top of it and is down to inside their own 40-yard line, officially marked down at the 38.
Yeah, the last drive was a short field for the Trojans, but it ends in a 12-yard pass from J.T. Williams to Chase Highland. 3rd touchdown for Highland of the game. 2nd touchdown pass for J.T. Williams.
Very quick half so far here tonight in Week 11 at the Trojan Coliseum. 1:34 to go here in the second quarter. All 3 timeouts remaining for Amanda. Stevens out in the gun, off to his right hip, Tommy Stein. Elder motions across the line of scrimmage to the right side of the line. Stein picks up a block as Stevens looks near side for Westover. It's incomplete. Is Jacob Tidd in on the coverage for the Trojans?
I don't see any way Kingston Littlefield was not offsides on that, because I've never seen someone further in the backfield when a play starts than what Littlefield did. So he may have timed it perfect. I know you're watching the replay, but yeah. Dewey giving the thumbs up means, just did it pretty much immediately. So great play by Kingston Littlefield.
Well, what a play. I tell you, Littlefield timed that up perfect, and he blew that play up. Stevens had a chance to take this.
It's the incompletion. Stevens looking for Westover, and will bring up 2nd and 10. Just 3 seconds run off the clock. Now 1:31 to go here in the second quarter. Same formation as Stein, motions out of the backfield. Stevens pump fakes, keeps it himself between the tackle and is brought down just outside the 40-yard line by Trevin Brooks.
Pick up a 4. And I like the idea right there, because Littlefield jumped very early again. He just pulled it and went to the empty spot of where Littlefield was at, because he got so far upfield. So maybe you can use that to your advantage later on if you're Amanda, that Littlefield's getting such a good read on it.
And John, for the Aces, not your typical high school football team. You don't need to get a touchdown here. Now less than a minute to go, all 3 timeouts. Pretty long field goal range for the Aces and Hayden Dunn.
At least 45.
Stevens dumps it underneath to the right side as Tommy Stein looks to reverse field. Nowhere to go for the juniors. He's brought down by a host of Trojan defenders.
Going to be a timeout for the Trojans, and that was another one where Littlefield goes upfield, but because of the cutback, he's able to make a nice play there on Stein. Ends up being about a loss of 5. So after moving the ball really well their first couple possessions, it's been not much going on lately for the Aces.
So a timeout for the Trojans, their first of the half, the first for either team so far here tonight. Comes with a little under 38 seconds to go here in the first half.
Yeah, you got, Leland Skurlock's going to go deep, with 2 timeouts left. You tried a 42-yarder at one point, so it wouldn't surprise me if they try to go, you think that you can get a deep one. But maybe if Skurling gets a big return, you don't have to worry about it. But if this is a really nice punt here from Dunn, we may just see the Trojans just run out the clock.
So coming out of the Trojan timeout, Hayden Dunn back inside his own 20-yard line to punt it away as Leland Skurlock is inside the Trojans' 25, back to return for Portsmouth. Bruce Kolb chatting near side with the official as the play clock has not yet began.
Yeah, they were resetting the game clock from 37 to 39.
So Dunn back to punt it away from his own 20-yard line. Rugby style punt, not a whole lot of air time as this one will fall out of bounds. Nice play by Jacob Titt on the near sideline as we will see what it is marked down, and it will be the plus 41 as a flag thrown in after the play right at midfield.
Oh, he's walked back to the 25. There we go. Man, I wish Kenneth had this. Because the official ran down to the 25, and now he is walking to the 42. Like, he could have just went to the 35 and just walked that last 7.
So as of now, 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 42-yard line. A flag thrown in seemingly after the play. So we have a personal foul on the Trojans, not what Portsmouth needed, as that'll push them back 15 yards to begin this drive.
Yeah, and that's probably going to make Coach Kolb's decision pretty easy. And, on the play, there's been some kind of chippy action after plays throughout. So I'm going to say that was probably the second man got caught. But hurts the Trojans here, as that's now 12 penalties total, 6 for each team. So at least we're even on that.
And John, we mentioned these are two teams, although play styles very similar, not too familiar with each other. They haven't played for the better part of 2 decades.
Yeah, they're 2 very proud programs, but they are not very close to each other, so you haven't seen them play for a long time. And they've kind of been in different areas for a while. It looks like they will take a knee.
So the Trojans out in the victory formation. As JT Williams drops the knee. And that'll do it for the first half. What was a 13-0 Amanda Clearcreek lead is now a 21-13 following 21 unanswered points for the Trojans as we await the possibility of another snap being needed, although with the play clock not running, it does not look like we will need it. The officials holding all the players hostage until 000's up on the clock, and we'll now head to the break. 21-13 in favor of the Trojans. And their first ever home playoff game here at the Coliseum. We'll step aside. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glowhio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Parmar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Parmar has it. Download the Parmar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Parmar Rewards Card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
that team should free him up. Hey, you doing? Conversation with her, she's like, she hears like 1 out of every 20 words. That's what we're hearing. I think Jennifer got her hearing aid. She's still on her.
With everyone that I know that and I tell you what, they call it bring them back from and they're not used to that.
That's what she said. He's going to touch it. He's going to touch the ball. Number 1 is a great pep talk. Oh, you didn't touch it. Uh-oh, they're doomed. Maybe he did before he got the phone.
That is not a game plan. This is work. And I'm sitting, having dinner with him like and Chuck Burke, my long-time assistant, best friend of the time in the club. If that's what the coach is doing, what happens if their coach gives a better pep talk than H? He just kind of looked at us. And he said, it's not about that.
The Amanda Clearcreek Marching Band. Now please welcome the Portsmouth Trojans Marching Band.
That being said, so This is the time you turn your shirt to 0 Bear Murphy. All day Cassidy. 3-5-3. There you go. 31-21. The Trojan defense has some works 2 turnovers tonight, 1 interception, and 1 fumble. That is the Let's take another break here in the Holbrook Sunshine Pharmacy halftime show. When we come back, we'll take a look at some scores from around the area tonight. You're listening to high school football. It's playoff time. Fox Sports AM 1260 and 517.
direction of Mr. Tony Monprimo. Some halftime scores from around the area in local playoff action. Notre Dame leading Shadyside 6-0. Wheelersburg leads Barnesville 17-0. Harvest Prep over Colgrove 20-0. Ironton 28, Worthington Christian 14. Portsmouth West leads Chesapeake 28-18. Waverly over Fairfield Union 21-7. Stella Flossman and Rock Hill. Rock Hill 23, Madison Plains 21. Fairland leading St. Trace 17-0. And Eastern Pike 17, Strasburg 6. You're going to be happy if you have a white ticket that has the number 665-200. 665-200, white ticket. The winner gets 200.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Parmar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Parmar has it. Download the Parmar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Parmar Rewards Card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum, a 21-13 lead for the Trojans at the break. John, maybe not the start Portsmouth was looking for. They fall behind 13-0. 21 answered points for the Trojans. They now lead by 8 in their first ever home playoff game here at the Coliseum since it opened up in 2009.
Yeah, not the ideal start, as you mentioned. Tommy Stye, a 61-yard screen pass from Logan Stevens got the scoring started for the Aces, and then a short field. Tommy Affolter with a 1-yard touchdown run. They went for 2. When they didn't get it, that kind of swung the momentum a little bit towards Portsmouth. 13-0 after the first quarter. Second quarter was all Portsmouth. Chase Highland scored on the first play of the second quarter, 14-yard screen pass from J.T. Williams. Malachi Loper had the PAT, which he did on all 3 of their scores. With 6:33 left, Highland scored from 3 yards out, and then Loper put it through to give them the 14-13 lead. And then Highland finally had another score, a 12-yard screen pass from J.T. Williams with 1:35 left in the half to give them the 21-13 lead that they currently have. In the first half, J.T. Williams was outstanding. 3 for 5 passing, 41 yards, 2 touchdowns, but also he had 13 rushes for 89 yards. I think a lot of people probably on the Amanda side envisioned it to be a lot of Chase Highland. Hasn't been all that much Chase Highland so far, as Highland 8 carries for 26 yards. He does have 1 score, but also 2 catches for 26 yards and 2 scores. And that's been the difference so far. What they've been able to do, a couple turnovers, an interception that was really Wesley Runyon made a great play on it. Ended up being picked off by Trevin Brooks to kind of swing the momentum in a way for the Trojans, as they got a short field on that and were able to score. And now they'll get the ball to start the second half. Things looking very good right now for the Trojans.
Portsmouth set to receive the opening kickoff here in the third quarter. They lead 21-13 at the break. Of course, we talked at the top of the broadcast, the winner here at the Coliseum in Week 11, most likely going to have to face the Fighting Tigers of Ironton in Week 12. For Amanda, obviously going to be a tough task. Could say that for both teams. For Portsmouth would be a rematch.
So at least they know what they would be getting now. Ironton up 28-14 at the half over Worthington Christian, maybe a little closer than I think a lot of people thought. But at the same time, they've been a really heavy second-half team so far this year, so it wouldn't surprise me if they're able to run away with that one as well.
So both teams back on the field after the break. If you're just now tuning in, John Bruce alongside Dewey Daly bringing you tonight's coverage.
So also a big story of the first half, 6 penalties for Amanda for 45 yards. They blocked a field goal, but they were called for a penalty on it. The next play, they were called for a pass interference in the end zone, or a couple plays later, that ultimately set up the last score for Portsmouth. For Portsmouth, 6 penalties for 55 yards. So those are 2 things that something that each team needs to clean up here in the second half.
Both teams ready to go. Hayden Dunn gives the signal and boots it away. Second half underway from the Coliseum. Week 11 playoff football here in Southern Ohio. It'll be Cam Williams on the return from inside his own 10-yard line as he's brought down hard just outside the 10 by the sophomore Branson Fowler.
Yeah, that one was high enough. Probably could have caught. Thought the spin maybe was going to take that into the end zone. Ends up costing him some yardage as they're going to start way back on their own 13 now.
And John, as the Trojans take the field as the first series here in the second half, we'll quickly mention injuries for the Trojans without Alex McKenzie as well as Logan Atkins, 2 key pieces of their offense throughout this season. We actually saw McKenzie go down in Week 7 against Fairland. For Atkins, it would have had to have been sometime between then and last week. So out of the gun, it'll be J.T. Williams on the keeper. Has the edge to the outside as J.T. Williams shanks a would-be tackler as he's forced out of bounds just outside the 20-yard line, marked down at the 22.
It ends up being a 9-yard pickup on first down for Williams. He's closing in on 100 yards tonight, 98 yards on 14 carries for the senior signal caller for the Trojans.
So the 9-yard designed run for JT Williams brings up second down and 1 from their own 22-yard line. Empty backfield. Trevin Brooks tight to the left side. His back-to-back keepers for JT Williams has the Trojans out past the 25-yard line, first down Portsmouth.
Now over 100. One thing for Williams, I will say, he does that little spin when he gets around where he wants to go to pick up a couple extra yards. Got to make sure to be very tight with the ball on that, because that's where a backside guy can come through, maybe get a punch out or just a big hit on him. So
fresh set of downs for Portsmouth. Brooks motions from left to right. The first carry of the quarter for Chase Highland. Out to the 34-yard line, a pickup of 8 for the senior tailback.
Yeah, that's going to be his second longest of the night. He had a 12-yarder in the first half. And when we've seen him in the past, it's the second half is when he starts to really, make his hay. They kind of, slowly bring him along in the first half, but the second half is when they really unleash him.
Now the Trojans out in the pistol formation with Highland directly behind JT Williams. Back-to-back carries for Chase Highland as he bounces it out to the right side and will be brought down just shy of the 40-yard line.
We pick up a 4 and another first down.
So 2 first down conversions already on the drive for the Trojans. First and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Portsmouth looking to add on to their 8-point first half lead. 3 receivers sent. Brooks tight to the left side, and the snap gets away from Williams. Now inside his own 25, throws it downfield, wide open, Lucas Bradley. Bradley off to the races. One man to beat. They're not going to get there. Touchdown, Trojans.
62 yards.
On a broken play, JT Williams connects with the senior wideout, Lucas Bradley.
And probably the best thing for that is I think the whole line realized that it was a bad snap, so no one goes downfield, so you don't get the random guy moving downfield. So nothing illegal downfield, just a great pass and catch there.
Loper on to make it a 15-point lead, which he does. 28-13. 9:54 to go in the third. We'll step aside. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum, Portsmouth, with their own 60-plus yard play, this time from JT Williams to Lucas Bradley. On a broken play, a bad snap from Dylan Sonderland that got away from Williams, improvising Luckily, no men downfield for the Trojans as he dumps it off to Bradley, who does the rest on his feet. The squib kick will be returned by Bertram to the far sideline, and the ball is out. The Trojans in pursuit as the Aces are able to get on top of it and retain possession of the football.
Gary Kimmerling possibly saves the Aces season right there with the fumble recovery. Huge play for the Aces on what could have been a disaster.
So the Aces 1st and 10. From their own 32-yard line. The largest lead by either team tonight. The Trojans out in front by 15.
28-13 Trojans. Split backs behind Stevens, who's under center.
Split backs for the Aces. Stevens turns, hands it off. Tommy Stye between the tackles and up the left hash for 1 yard.
Stye, who was held to only 8 yards in that first half. He picked up the big play in the passing game, but was really slowed down as far as running the ball.
So 1 yard on the carry by Tommy Stye. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Aces. Stevens out in the gun as a flag is down prior to the snap. It'll be a false start on the Aces. That'll push them back beyond the original line of scrimmage, making it 2nd and 14.
7 for 50 yards now against the Aces.
So from their own 28-yard line, 2nd down and 14 for Amanda. Stevens fakes the handoff to Stye. He'll keep it himself up the middle and out past the 30-yard line for a pickup of about 3 yards on 2nd down.
Yeah, a little pickup of 3 there, 23 yards now for Stevens. Gives them a much more manageable 3rd down now, but 3rd and 11 still coming up for the Aces.
Aces still behind the sticks. 3rd and 11 coming up for Amanda. 8 minutes to go in the 3rd. Pitch out near side. Stye is brought down in the backfield. Kingston Littlefield on the TFL.
Littlefield has been outstanding all night for the Trojans. Makes another play. That one's going to be a loss of 3. And it's going to force a punt here for the Aces.
Kingston Littlefield off the left edge. It's been a menace all night for the Trojans defense. Another big play.
I think we're going to have an equipment timeout here.
Fernando Poaches off the field with a helmet malfunction. Hayden Dunn from his own 15 sent to punt it away. Spiraling kick back as Leland Skurlock fair catching at his own 38-yard line.
34-yard punt, much better than the last one that went pretty much straight out of bounds.
Now get our second look at this Trojan offense here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, we got a big one coming up. For Amanda, you got to get a stop here. I mean, 7 minutes left. With the way your offense operates and hasn't really operated much since the first 2 possessions, you got to get a stop and you got to keep it within 2 possessions. Which, in their win against Circleville, they scored 30 points in a quarter. So, I mean, it is possible for them to put points up in bunches. But got to get stops first.
On 1st down, Chase Highland up the middle. Brought down for a short pickup, Cameron Tinsley, and on the stop for the Aces, pickup of 3.
Feels like we've been saying Tinsley's name all night. Makes another nice play up front senior up front for the Aces. 6'1", 325. Can see why he's able to get loose because that's a big, strong kid.
2nd and 7 now for the Trojans. JT Williams rolling out to his right, looking to throw. Williams up the right hash, and it's nearly intercepted and deflected out of bounds. Logan Stevens in coverage. The pass was intended for Leland Skurlock. As the flag is down around the spot that Williams cut it loose, John, and it looks like we will have holding on the Trojans. That'll push them back 10 yards from the 40-yard line, so they should be potentially around the 30. We'll see where this one gets walked off.
We started the walk at the 41, so maybe they're just going to give it to him from the line of scrimmage. Yeah. But it's going to be a 10-yarder. 7 for 75 now for Portsmouth.
The Trojans now back beyond the sticks. 2nd and 17 from their own 31-yard line. John, I'll tell you what, props to head coach Bruce Kahn for the Trojans, wearing the same stuff he wore when we saw him in week 1 over at Valley. Short sleeve shirt, khaki shorts. Does have the toboggan on this week. As Brooks motions across the line of scrimmage. Williams fakes the handoff to Highland and is brought down in the backfield. Guess who? The senior lineman Cameron Tinsley on the tackle for loss.
Tinsley's been outstanding all night for the Aces. Nice play for the TFL.
3rd and 18 now for the Trojans. It's Callum Duncan in for Tinsley. 4-4 stack for the Aces. 3rd and 18 coming up for Portsmouth. 3 receivers set out in the pistol as the play clock is winding down, and head coach Bruce Cobb will take his first time out here in the second half.
Yeah, you don't love having to use one there on a 3rd and 18, but you don't want to go any deeper. And maybe you just let that one go, but at the same time, the way your team's playing, you want to keep any momentum you have going forward for them.
So a 28-13 lead for the Portsmouth Trojans, trailed by 13 to begin the night. Led 21-13 at the break, scoring first. Here in the second half, a big-time play from J.T. Williams to Lucas Bradley. John, on a broken play, a 62-yard hookup from Williams to Bradley for 6.
Yeah, and that really changed the momentum of the game, as it looked like for Amanda they had a decent chance still, but now it's a pretty long way uphill.
Empty backfield as Cameron Williams motions across the line of scrimmage. The play is quickly blown dead as a flag is dropped in the Trojans' backfield. That'll push them back 5 more yards. So false start is signaled in. So now 3rd and 27 for Portsmouth. Line to gain all the way up at the Trojan 48-yard line. As Portsmouth sits at the 25. Williams comes back to the near side. A screen pass to Trevin Brooks is blown up immediately. Tanner Affolter in on the stop for the Aces. 4th and long coming up for the Trojans.
A nice play by Affolter, like you said, blowing that one up immediately. Because we've seen Brooks in the past, whenever he gets a head of steam, can make a lot of stuff happen. Just wasn't able to get going at all on that play.
So now, John, we will potentially see the first Trojans punt since I believe their opening series of the night. Williams pooch punts it away, end over end, brought in by Affolter at the 50-yard line, and after a 2-yard return, he's brought down immediately by Trevin Brooks.
And it was Trevin Brooks returning the favor a little bit from Affolter after Affolter made the big play on him on the previous play. But really good field position here for the Aces at the Portsmouth 48.
The Trojan 48, where the Aces will start first and 10.
For the Aces, John, they'll start off on the Trojan side of the field, 1st and 10 from the plus 48-yard line. Stevens under center, split backfield for the Aces. Handoff between the tackles. Tommy Sty loses the football. It looked like Dylan Dyer of the Aces may have been the first to it. And a big-time play by the Aces offensive lineman, the right tackle, Dylan Dyer. In on the recovery now, a pickup of 7 yards for Amanda.
Like, I know that's clearly not on purpose, but that ends up being a nice little gain for the Aces.
As Sty was stood up immediately, potentially for a pickup of 1. Fumbles it forward, and Dylan Dyer on top of it like a hand grenade. 2nd and 4 coming up now for Amanda.
Yeah, it ends up being plus 5 on that after the fumble.
Edler motions across the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be a delay.
The play clock winds down. That'll push Amanda back to the plus 47-yard line.
Just the 8 penalties, just too much for Amanda right now. You can't have any mistakes, especially down 2 scores here.
2 receiver set, I formation. Elder tight to the right side of the line. A handoff between the tackles is Affolter.
Ooh. It's a heck of a spot. Ends up just getting 4 on the play. It looked like he fell forward about 6 yards. Ends up being marked down at the 43. So we got a 3rd and 5 coming up.
Jalen Ball and the Trojans defensive line a bit shaken up after the play. It'll be Charles Fletcher, 5'10", 305. Now lined up on the interior of the Trojans defensive line. 3rd and 5, Trojan checked out the Aces out in the eye, speed option. Stevens will keep it himself, fighting forward, has the 1st down and more inside the Trojans' 35-yard line. A big pickup on 3rd down for Logan Stevens.
Pickup of 9 on that play from Stevens. It's a slow developing play, but if you follow the right blocker and you get the blocks, you're going to pick up positive yardage more times than not. Pickup of 9 there when you needed 5. Nice play for the Aces.
We creep towards the 3-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 from the plus 34 for Amanda. Back to the ground with Affolter. Affolter dragging defenders forward. It looks like he'll be brought up just shy of the 25-yard line. A pickup of 8 yards for Affolter.
Just keeping those legs pumping, keeping them moving forward. Littlefield was one of the first ones there to slow him down. But nice pickup there for the Aces. They've had penalties, they've had some mistakes in this game, but they're moving the ball now. After getting a stop, you think a score here, you got a lot of momentum going in that 4th quarter.
A 2nd down, 2 yards to go for the Aces. 2:10 to go in the quarter. Play action, Stevens. Under pressure, rolling out to his left, fires downfield. It is nearly intercepted. It didn't appear that there were any Aces in the immediate area.
But I think the jersey of Nick Holland being moderately close ends up making that to where it's going to be said that that's who he's throwing to, even though he's clearly blocking on the play.
Zion Fro, the Trojan, quickly into the backfield, forcing Stevens out of the pocket. Now 3rd and 2, Stevens under center, hands it off. Tommy Sty, shot out of a cannon up to the Trojans' 14-yard line.
This will be a 12-yard gain for Sty. 10 now after where they mark him. One thing, Sty's had some issues with ball control in this game, so maybe they're looking at Affolter a little bit more there, but a nice run by Sty to battle forward for the 10 yards.
Marked down at the 16, 1st and 10 for the Aces. Williams motions across the line of scrimmage from the right side to the left. Handoff to Affolter to the left side as he's inside the Trojan 15, potentially right at it for a pickup of 1.
Yeah, Nick Copley makes a play on the outside, does a good job of holding his ground and making it to where Affolter can only pick up a single yard on the play.
So 60 seconds left in this third quarter. Portsmouth leads it 28 to 13.
2nd and 9 for the Aces with a minute to go in the third. Single backfield, Tommy Stye looking to bounce it out to the right side, but Kingston Littlefield coming back into the play along with Fernando Poches. Brings the junior tailback down for a loss.
Poches has played well every time we've seen him. Makes a nice play to slow up Stye, and then Littlefield helps clean up the mess on the outside. A loss of 3 on the play.
Now 3rd and 12, a 10-second differential between the game and play clock. So it will take one more play for the Aces to get to the final quarter here in regulation in Week 11. 3-receiver set, all to the near side. Stevens pitches it inside, and it's nearly intercepted. The ball will be ruled dead. John, once again, something we've seen go the other way here in recent months. It was intended for Nick Holland. It will fall incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. And for the Aces, they'll trot out Hayden Dunn with a little over 8 seconds to go here in the quarter to attempt a 25-yard field goal. Check that, a 35-yard field goal.
Yeah, a chance to take it from a 2-possession game to a 2-possession game here.
Dunn confidently knocking down kicks from this distance in warm-ups. Dunn from 25, the kick is up and he knocks it through. Still a 2-score game in favor of Portsmouth as they lead 28-16. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum, a 35-yard field goal for the Aces. The junior Hayden Dunn knocks it through, his first here tonight. Still a 2-possession game, a 12-point lead for the Trojans at 28-16, a little under 4 seconds to go before we enter the 4th quarter here at the Coliseum.
I feel like Coach Sam likes how his team's playing defensively. You just got a broken play. It's the only way that Portsmouth scored here in the second half. So probably likes his chances to get the ball back twice after they get stopped. So, but a lot comes down to the Aces defense for this game.
And what will most likely be the final play, a kick straight at the first up man of the Trojans. A line drive kick by Hayden Dunn is brought in. It's Landon Malone.
That was why Ohio State lost to Oregon, was they did not make the play on that. That's a great play by Portsmouth there. Because Dunn.
It's actually Tyshawn Henderson.
Nice play, Tyshawn Henderson. Because that thing was rocketed.
So the quick kickoff, 1st and 10 from their own 45. The Trojans out for what should be the final play here in the third. Trojans out in the eye, a handoff, Chase Highland. Between the tackles, busted out to the outside to the 49-yard line, a pickup of 4. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. Trojans out in front, 28-16. We'll take a break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glowhio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum. Portsmouth out in front, 28-16. They'll begin the fourth quarter, 2nd and 6. From their own 49-yard line is Chase Highland. Flips the field, taking it out to the Amanda 43 for a Trojan first down.
Going to be a pickup of 8 there, and it didn't look like the cleanest handoff, but Highland does a good job of maintaining possession and marching that ball forward.
One of the more interesting PA systems we have in the Southeast.
And they make it really,
an entertaining night.
An event, yeah.
Outstanding utilization of the soundboard. Trojans out in the eye, 1st and 10, back to Highland. Out to the right hash and brought down at the 35-yard line. Tackle made by Tanner Affolter.
He's up over 60 now on the night. Yeah, I think, using a lot of clock here, really good for Portsmouth. It'd be nice to score because a score puts this game, just ends the game. Or at least a touchdown would.
2nd down, 2 yards to go from the 35. First carry tonight for Nick Copley as he makes the most of it. Carrying defenders inside the Aces 25.
A 12-yard carry there for Nick Copley on his first carry of the night. Like you said, his first carry, making the most of it, just pumping those legs. We saw him in week 7, really took advantage of the touches he got as he does so again here.
Fresh set of downs for Portsmouth, 1st and 10 from the 23. Back to Highland. Has the edge to the outside. Chase Highland dragging a defender inside the 10. Logan Stevens on the tackle for the Aces. More than likely the only Aces defender keeping Highland out of the end zone.
It ends up being a 17-yard gain, 78 yards now for Chase Highland. I think they know this is the last home game, so they're just trying to make sure they play every sound in that soundboard.
Now 1st and 10. Check that first down goal to go from the Trojans from the 6-yard line. Back to Highland. Busted out to the outside. Has the edge. Touchdown, Portsmouth.
No flags. That'll be 6. Chase Highland with another score. His 4th of the game.
Trojans now lead 34-16, their 2nd touchdown here in the 2nd half.
I'd say that's probably going to be about it, but, the Aces are going to battle. But really, the Portsmouth sideline has to feel really good about where they're at currently.
Malachi Loper on to make it a 19-point game. Williams, the hold is down, a low lining kick from Loper, splits the uprights. And it's a 19-point lead for the Trojans with 9:45 to go in the 4th. We'll step aside. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par Mar has it. Download the Par Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum here in Portsmouth, Ohio. Aces down in the hole as the Trojans are out in front by 19, a 3-score lead for Portsmouth. Loperon to boot it away, 9:45 to go here in the fourth. Low lining kick, it's brought in by the Aces. Gary Kimberling fielded it. Would have flown in the NFL, but when he fielded the football, his knee was down, so he'll be marked down, and the Aces will begin this drive from their own 36.
Had a nice catch, still. Sometimes you got to drop to a knee, though, especially if you're listed as a lineman. Guessing linemen don't get a whole lot of touches. Actually going to mark it at the 35.
Kimmerling, the left tackle for the Aces, had a kick return earlier on in the night. So 1st and 10 for Amanda Clearcreek from their own 35. Under center, Stevens pitches it to the outside. Tommy Stye up the far sideline, still on his feet, now to cross midfield, a pickup of about 17 yards for the junior.
Yeah, it's the biggest carry of the game for Stye. He obviously had the huge 61-yard touchdown reception earlier, but that's a nice run there. You know, keep a little bit of momentum for Amanda. You got to score quick. If you know you have any chance in this, you got to score as quick as possible.
Stye actually pushing over a couple of his lead blockers en route to the 17-yard pickup. Aces back on the Trojan side of the field, 1st and 10 from the plus 48-yard line. Single backfield for the Aces. This time Stevens will hand it off to Affolter, who's inside the 35 and brought down just shy of the 30-yard line.
16 yards now. Nice run for Affolter.
Nick Copley in on the stop for the Trojans. Back-to-back chunk pickups for the Aces as they're down to the Trojans' 32-yard line. Pitch out to the right side. Stye looking to throw, and it's picked off. Leland Skurlock going the other way and brought down just shy of the 25. The 3rd turnover of the night for Amanda. And Skurlock is down after the play.
Nice play by Skurlock. Let's hope that he is not hurt.
We'll take a quick break, 35-16 with 8:25 to go here in the 4th quarter. You're watching Ohio High School playoff football here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week, presented by Willie & Son Trucking, each week at sosaohio.com.
We welcome you back to the Coliseum here in Portsmouth, Ohio, as Leland Skurlock, following the interception, able to walk off the field under his own power. So all things seemingly okay for the Trojans. Big time interception by the junior.
Yeah, and that's pretty much going to lock it up. not a big fan of the play call because you just ran it 2 times for, let me see.
17 and 12, 29 yards.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're moving the ball really well, and then you just go for a gimmick play.
The Trojans out in the eye on 1st and 10. Chase Highland powering forward just outside. They'll actually have him marked down right at the 30-yard line for a pickup of 7 yards.
It's up over 90 now on the game, so we could see 2 Trojans crossing the century mark on the ground.
The Trojans seemingly eyeballing a rematch with Ironton next week. And John, if you know more than I do, are we still not playing games down at Ironton, or is everything fixed up?
I'm not 100% sure. I think they are playing there again, but I can't say that 100%.
So whistle prior to the snap, a false start on the Trojans.
It's going to be their 9th. They can't do that next week. You cannot do that against Ironton. You got to play pretty close to a perfect game, but they saw in week 10 what they can and can't do against that really good Ironton team. So I would look for them to come with a probably completely different game plan in week 12.
And John, obviously, if you've not ever been down to Ironton, one of, if not the greatest complexes in Southern Ohio, suffered some damage when we got some of the backlash of the hurricanes down south. Ironton, for a few weeks, playing over at Franklin Furnace Green, another respectable complex in its own right, but Ironton definitely home to one of the greater atmospheres here in high school football in Southern Ohio.
Yeah, the really nice thing, as a historical site for them, it's an outstanding complex, but, for one that was built in the last 15 years, Trojan Coliseum is really top-notch. The people here always really good to us whenever we come in, so I enjoy calling any game here as well. So no matter where you end up for next week, it's going to be a really nice complex.
It's a 3rd down and 7 for the Trojans from their own 26-yard line. Less than 7 minutes to go here in the 4th. Play action. J.T. Williams rolling to his right over the middle. What a grab. Trevin Brooks, the junior tight end, moves the chains. 1st and 10 for Portsmouth. 11 yards on the hookup.
A great pass and probably a better play there by Trevin Brooks to pull that one down.
Now 1st and 10 for the Trojans. From their own 37-yard line as Williams turns, hands it off. Chase Highland. Brought down at the 43 for a pickup of 6. And John, is somebody who has seen the Trojans play obviously a handful of times this season ago, 3 times this year. It seems like Trevin Brooks, one of those unsung heroes offensively in terms of skilled guys for the Trojans, makes big plays when they go to him.
Yeah, he seems like he's the type of kid who's not going to complain about not getting the ball, because whenever he gets the ball thrown to him, he makes a big play, as he does there.
And it's a position in high school football that, John, around here you maybe don't see get utilized a whole lot in the tight end. Trevin Brooks does not fall under that category. 2nd and 4, back to Highland. Forced deep into the backfield and nowhere to go as he's brought down right at the line of scrimmage as Mason Williams, as well as Brody Elder, in on the stop for the Aces. 3rd and medium coming up for Portsmouth.
To be honest, that was one of the better no gains that you're going to see at Highland. Just absolutely battled for every inch he could get right there.
Now less than 5 minutes to go here in the 4th. 3rd down, 4 yards to go for the Trojans.
3rd and 4 for the Trojans on row 43. They lead 35-16. 4:40 left in the game. We'll make sure they do the medical appointment for TV post-game show.
Trojans out in the eye on 3rd and 4. Quick toss to the left side. It's Chase Highland. Met in the backfield by Elder. Stays on his feet. Has the 1st down and more. Out to midfield as a flag is down on the Aces side of the 50-yard line. As it stands, about a 9-yard run for Highland.
And I think we're going to see 3rd and about what were we at, 3rd and 4? I think we're going to see about 3rd and 5 coming up here, as it looks to be in the area of holding downfield.
So negate the first down run for Chase Highland.
So it ends up being 3rd and 7, so I guess it was not at the spot where the flag was. Usually these guys are
dart throwers.
Yeah.
3rd down and 7.
3rd and 7 for the Trojans on their own 40. 4.5 to go in the game.
So 3rd and 7 now for the Trojans with a 19-point lead.
High formation for Portsmouth. Williams under center.
4.5 minutes to go in the 4th. Williams fakes the pitch out. He'll keep it himself and is met at the line of scrimmage and dropped for no gain on the play. Chase Hanna, the Amanda defender, in on the stop. 4th and 7 now coming up for the Trojans.
Brought down by Chase Hanna. Brings up a 4th and 7 for the Trojans.
5-yard penalty in front of the way. Because right now their opponent's not the guys in the field. The opponent's over on score.
Cam Williams is in.
This will be the 3rd punt for Williams.
Standing at his zone 36.
They're still that run.
Yeah.
Slow run down. We'll take a time.
See what Coach Cobb does here. Yeah, because timeout. We'll keep things right here.
So with 3:40 to go here in the 4th, Bruce Cobb will take his 2nd timeout of the half.
Well, Coach Cobb's on the right now, showing everybody their assignment.
Yeah.
Trojans by 19, a 3-score lead for Portsmouth here in Week 11.
Yeah, it's at this point, if you're Coach Cobb, you're just going to let your guys know, let's be smart. We don't need any silly penalties. We had a little bit of chippiness in that first half, late in the half. So don't want to have any of that coming back because, you got a big one next week. And you're up 19. You just kind of just let stuff go at that point.
West over Chesapeake, 35-18.
So a crosstown rival, Portsmouth West, victorious in Week 11, I believe 35-18 over Chesapeake. So a crosstown rival and a league opponent in Chesapeake. Fourth and 7, Cam Williams. On his own 33, he'll punt it away. End over end kick. Affelter will watch it bounce. As it takes a Trojan roll all the way inside the 25. It should be marked down at the 22.
A 38-yard punt there for Cam Williams. Nicely played.
Amanda will start 1st and 10 from their own 22. With 3:30 left on the clock.
So if Amanda Clearcreek wants to find the end zone, they're going to have to go 78 yards to do it. And Coach, I don't know if you want to say it's quite over yet, but it's going to need, they need, I think Clearcreek needs a lot of things to go their way in these last 3.5 minutes.
You know what? They break along.
So the Aces out 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line. All 3 timeouts remaining for head coach Chet Som. Stevens tucks it and keeps it himself up the left hash. Stevens brought up just shy of the 35. Trevin Brooks. And on the stop for Portsmouth. First down, Amanda.
It's going to be a pickup of 12 there for Stevens.
Trevin Brooks. And he will have the first down at the 32-yard line.
Now the Aces out in the gun. Sty alongside Stevens in the backfield. Stevens under pressure and brought down. Guess who? Kingston Littlefield off the left edge, with Zion Froh providing support as well.
Yeah, the defensive ends have been outstanding tonight for the Trojans. You mentioned Littlefield, but also Froh's been outstanding. It's just a really nice play there to get to the quarterback. Ends up being a loss of 8.
2nd and 18 for the 24-yard line.
Affolter motions into the right slot. Stavens drops back under pressure, looking to dump it off to the right side for Gage Crenshaw. Overthrown and incomplete. 3rd and 18 coming up for the Aces.
Yeah, got a not great situation here for Amanda. I like the play call because you're trying to go to one of your kind of big plays you got hit on earlier. But now you've got a long way to go. Still down 3 scores.
3rd down and 18.
3rd and 18. The Aces need the 42. Handoff. Affolter cuts it up the left hash, met by Poaches and driven back. Forward progress will have him at the 30-yard line. It will be 4th and 12.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a punt coming for Amanda.
Brings up 4th and 12 for Amanda.
So the Aces seemingly set to punt it away with the junior Hayden Dunn. Dunn back on his own 17-yard line. His flags rang in prior to the snap. It'll be a false start on the Aces.
Their 9th penalty of the game. So 19 total flags. So, for Amanda here, it's a year after you went 3-7, a year after they went 0-10. So, for Amanda, you have to feel pretty good about the positive progress that your program has made this year.
Dunn end over end, boots it away. And it looks like we will have roughing the punter on the other end. As of now, the Dunn punt is marked down at the 28-yard line. It look like potentially Kingston Littlefield roughing the punter. It will be holding.
Oh, he was just ripped down.
Nonetheless, on the Aces.
Yeah, he was trying to go in, was just kind of ripped down by the up back. But 1:34 left to go here. I would think with that punt, I think that Portsmouth could probably just take a knee because it looks like Amanda kind of conceding at that point.
And John, after Amanda shot out to a 13-0 lead, 35-3 for the Trojans for the last 3.5 quarters.
Yeah, it's been all Trojans since those first 2 scores, and credit to the Trojans for how they reacted. You get down 2 scores early in a playoff game at home. There's always a chance that you could react in a negative way, but they didn't at all. And because of that, they're going to move on to week 12.
So the Trojans out in the victory formation. It'll for sure take one more, potentially 2. Is Williams. Kneels it down, still 52 seconds remaining, so it'll take one more knee for Portsmouth. Williams under center, drops the knee. Let the celebration commence. The Portsmouth Trojans are moving on in their first ever home playoff win here at the Coliseum.
Yeah, just as we talked about after that first quarter, really, because down 13-0 after the first quarter, they score in the first play of the second quarter, and it's just all Trojans from there. So outstanding performance by Coach Cobb's team as they will move on to week 12.
35-16, the final. here in P-Town in Week 11. We'll take a quick break. The Trojans moving on to Week 12. You've been watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glow Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Parmar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Parmar has it. Download the Parmar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Parmar Rewards Card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum here in Portsmouth, Ohio. A 35-16 Week 11 win for the Portsmouth Trojans, their first ever home playoff victory here at the Coliseum since it was built in 2009. They'll move on to Week 12, we're assuming, against the Ironton Tigers, a rematch for the Trojans, their second meeting with the Fighting Tigers here in 2024.
Yeah, the first one didn't go great, but you know what? You get a chance again in Week 12. So that's all you can want. You play 1 week at a time. You try to go 1-0 in the week, and Portsmouth was able to do that tonight after starting off down 13-0.
And for Portsmouth, John, it'll be the second year in a row they will have a playoff opponent that they lost to in a big way in the regular season. Could be one of the bigger upsets in the area if the Trojans are able to pull that off next week.
Yeah, you never know. It's one of those things. That's why you play the game. That's why you strap them up, and you know why you go out, why you get ready through the week. And for the seniors, you got another week of practice. Like that's all you can ask for. You get the one more week of practice. For Amanda, as I mentioned late in the game, just really battled through a tough run over the last few years, or last couple of years, but they go from winning 3 games over the last two seasons to winning 6 games this year, including beating a couple playoff teams. So, I mean, for Amanda, the program's moving in the right direction for sure. Now, on the night for Amanda, They were led by quarterback Logan Stevens. He was 4 for 10 for 68 yards and a touchdown. He also had 7 rushes for 36 yards. He did throw 1 interception. Tommy Sty. What did we decide on? Was it Sty? Sty, yeah, I thought so. Tommy Sty, 12 rushes, 31 yards, but more importantly, 2 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown as he got the scoring started early. Tanner Affolter had 7 carries for 42 yards and a touchdown. So they really battled. Hayden Dunn had a 35-yard field goal that was glorious as well. It was a really nicely kicked ball. For Amanda, you got a lot of positives out of this. But for Portsmouth, moving on, J.T. Williams and Chase Highland, the senior backfield for the Trojans, were just outstanding all night long. J.T. Williams, 6 of 9 passing for 111 yards, 3 scores. He also had 17 carries for 106 yards. He just ran all over the place, especially in that first half. Second half was a lot of Chase Highland. Chase Highland had 19 carries, 2 touchdowns for 97 yards, and then 2 catches for 26 yards, including 2 scores. And then the big play for me, Lucas Bradley on a broken play on the first possession of the second half, a 62-yard touchdown reception to make it from a 21-13 game to a 28-13 game, and that really helped put the game away. I thought the defensive line for the Trojans played well. Wesley Runyon pretty much forced a interception, and then Kingston Littlefield, Zion Fro played really well all night. I thought Nick Copley did a nice job. You mentioned Jalen Ball a couple times. Just a really good all-around game for Portsmouth, especially after that first quarter.
8th win of the year for the Trojans. Once again, moving on to Week 12. One more week of football live streams guaranteed for us. We will see where we end up next week, potentially eyeing that SOC1 rematch in Week 12 in Beaver next Friday with the South Gallia Rebels, although we haven't confirmed South Gallia won Eastern. Last time we checked, up big over Strasburg Franklin. So at least one end of that matchup has won in Week 11. We'll await the final from South Gallia, and I believe their first ever playoff appearance potentially in school history. Either their first ever, their first in a while, or potentially maybe they're an opportunity for their first ever playoff win. Nonetheless.
Yeah, the school hasn't been there that long. So, I mean, it was I think, mid-90s.
That'll wrap it up for us here in Week 11 from the Coliseum. For John Bruce and Dewey Daly, we say so long from Portsmouth, Ohio. The Trojans victorious 35-16. You've been watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.